When MarkBook is first launched, there's a Peel logo at the top of the screen. If you don't see the Peel logo, it means you're using an older version of MarkBook, or you're using the Street version, which does not contain the Peel customizations. There's also a Peel logo in the Help file on the About MarkBook screen. Lastly, a Peel tagline appears on selected printouts. This is a fine print preview of the recording grid, and down at the bottom of that grid in the lower right corner is a tagline that says Peel District School Board. Similarly, class report printouts and student report printouts will contain this identical tagline. Peel's assessment and evaluation policies are included in MarkBook's Help menu. Click Help in the upper menu bar, click on Policies, and your browser or Adobe Reader will open this document. If you'd like to move to a subset of the document, for instance if you wanted to read about conversations, observations, and student products, put your mouse over any of the subdocuments, click once, and your browser will move directly to that component of this 61-page document. On the Mark Set screen, the Peel version of MarkBook will default to COP, Conversations, Observations, Products. As a result, on each new entry, put in a title, select a date, and then COP appears as the third item. Pop down the menu, and we suggest these three terms be typed in for the first time that you enter an observation, a conversation, or a product, and then continue entering the assessment as usual. This is Class Report. The third tab across the top is COP. Click once, and MarkBook shows three columns, student performance by each of the three groups, plus an overall mark next to their name. If you want to look at a student's individual performance, double-click on that student's name, and again click on COP, and MarkBook displays a bar graph of student performance in each of the three groups. Finally, COP results can be printed on Class Report, and in this case on the Student Report. So there's a table available of results by COP and a bar graph showing the student performance in each of the three groups. As each new assessment is entered into MarkBook, classify it as one of the three assessment types: assessment of learning, assessment for learning, or assessment as learning. Once entries have been classified into each of the three types, they appear at the top of the class report screen. Notice that there are 84 assessments so far, as shown in the no mark and zero columns. But if I deselect assessment for learning and deselect assessment as learning, there are 28 summative or of learning assessments left. Similarly, on student report, of learning, for learning, and as learning options appear, and they can be selected or deselected at any time. The three types will also appear on printouts. On this student report, all three types have been selected. Of course, if I deselect for and as, only the summative or of learning types will appear on a report. The Peel version of MarkBook will default to the blended mode algorithm as a calculation method, as opposed to a weighted median or a mean or average calculation. This calculation algorithm is displayed at the top of the class report and student report screens. It can be changed at any time by double-clicking the calculation method and selecting some other algorithm and apply. However, on launch, MarkBook will always revert back to the blended mode calculation for Peel. This blended mode calculation is the closest match to the minister's policy of most consistent level of performance. A MarkBook user can come to the class report compare screen and turn on or off a weighted average or mean, a weighted median, a weighted mode, a blended mode, and a blended median. The user can also average the selected algorithms in the overall column, and the user can also select an alert if there's more than 10% or any editable number in the alert cell, and this will assist the user in making a professional judgment. For instance, why does Gerald have a 30% variance among the 5 selected algorithms? Likely the teacher has to make a professional judgment call about each of the students where there is a high alert. Prior to doing any printout, be it a class report or a student report, the Peel version of MarkBook will require the user to pause to make a professional judgment. For instance, if the user decided to do a codename class report, there's an option to include or exclude the calculation method. When the user hits print, an Adjust Calculated Mark dialog box will appear. Select any student's name and make an adjustment to that student's mark based on professional judgment, the compare screen, personal knowledge about each learner, etc. The idea is to enter a number that best reflects the student's degree of understanding of the curriculum at that point in time. Once entered, then the user can save adjusted and print. They can cancel this dialog box, or they can recall previously adjusted marks.